Morning all. Just thought I'd just do you just a quick one. I've been looking at the weather that's going to be this weekend, and I reckon it's going to be absolutely beautiful. It's nice out there now. It's fairly early in the morning, but it's looking like it's going to be a good day this Friday. So a few little tips or my ideas of the way I'd approach looking at fishing probably tomorrow or Sunday. So we'll come back in a sec and we'll have a quick chat about my ideas and whether it might help you out a little bit. Right, see you in a moment. Right then, so we know it's warming up. The water's definitely warming up. Found that out when I went to the local pond last week now. But I was sort of thinking, majority of you probably not really, should we say, match anglers as such. I mean, obviously I do a lot of competition fishing. I was just thinking about some of the videos and stuff that are out there and what people are sorting about, what they're doing. Predominantly it's based on match fishing, about stretching a peg out over 5 hours, this, that and the other. But I don't know, I think majority of us, especially if I'm just going out, just want to go and catch some fish. So what I would class or is forcing the peg would probably help you guys in just going out, catching a few fish, coming home, happy days, sit at home in the garden, have a beer, and yeah, nice weekend, isn't it? So how would I approach it? Obviously I know quite a few of you are into your waggler fishing, so let's have just a quick look at that. And then some of you will probably fish a feeder, but you can't beat watching a float go under, can you? Just watching it, and then off it goes. Awesome. Right, so obviously you might need to nip out to tackle shot, you might not, but the way I would look at it is obviously keep, as we've always talked about, keep things simple. Waggler floats, I would be using an insert waggler because they're more sensitive, generally a bit longer as well in the tip. So want that. I'm not going to fish too far out. I want to keep it in the margins because the margins will warm up quicker. Okay. I would definitely use some ground bait opposed to putting loads of pellets in. Ground bait wise, nothing spectacular. A margin mix you'll probably find is great, and I generally have a bit more particle activity in a margin mix, so I'd use that. Some micro pellets, and then depending on what I'm going to put on the hook, I'd err on the side of using maggots really, but if you can't use maggots, some soft pellets for me would be perfect. So obviously mix ground bait up, don't mix loads up, you only want a small amount. Mix it up as dry as you can get it, just so it's just enough to bind together, just so you can actually throw it in. A few micros to that. Just to keep it simple, you just want a bit of bait going down, just something so they can rummage around hopefully as they come into your peg. Go and plumb up with your waggler, say not too far out, probably just over a rod length if you can, if it's nice and clear away from reeds. Have a plumb around your best you can. You can't be dead accurate with a waggler. Okay, you've cracked that bit, done that. The way I would feed it is, obviously I'd cast my waggler out to roughly where I wanted to be fishing. I'd make probably 4 small sort of tangerine sized balls, and obviously throw them towards the waggler, where the waggler is. Waggler's not baited up, it's just sat there as a marker in the water. Now it is really difficult to be dead accurate on that, so don't worry about that. Dustbin lid size area, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully if you've made them right, they'll hit the surface and break up. You're generally not, most ponds are probably only going to be 4 or 5 foot deep, perfect. The little pellets and that will break up and fall down, and you're trying to create a bit of an area and fish over the top of that. You're not trying to drag a peg out for 5 hours, so don't worry about all that lot. We've made a bit of a carpet, and then obviously bait the hook up, go back out with the waggler, and I've most of the shot, we'll talk about rigs another day, but bulk of the shot will be around the waggler, a few shot down the line. So as a waggler hits water, it cocks pretty quickly, and then it will fall through fairly slowly. Yeah, fishing full depth, we'll keep pinging obviously you need catapult for this. Pinging a few maggots over the top, just a few, 3 or 4. Don't worry about it. Try and hit the float the best you can. If it goes outside the area, don't worry too much, because the Waggler, you can move it around a bit. A few pellets over the top as well, and just slowly start building up. Eventually those fish are going to be milling around the lake, and they're going to come into the area. They're bound to come in, because like we just said earlier, it's warming up, the fish are getting inquisitive, they're moving around looking for feed to eat, because effectively they'll be getting ready for spawning soon. And that's it really. If I was going on a feeder, whether it's method feeder or a small cage feeder, I'd actually probably myself, I'd be using probably a cage feeder with a similar ground bait in that's fairly active. So as a casted tin, put it in fairly soft so it goes through the water. Some of the ground bait will come out of the feeder and create a bit of a water particles going through the water. Again, you're trying to do similar sort of thing to what you probably do on the float. So you've got some particles going through the water as a feeder, and then you're going to create a little bed, and that'll be, again, probably little enough from casting to start with, because you think the size of a feeder is probably only going to be about that big. It's a very small amount of bait. You might have to cast in a few times, probably cast it in, leave it for 5 minutes, bring it back out, cast it in, another 5 minutes, just to try and build that dustbin lid sized dinner plate up. And to be fair, I'd probably be fishing maggots again, to be fair. If it was on method feeder, stick with the method feeder mix, a wafter, obviously as usual on a short, probably something nice and bright as a visual. And again, maybe you might have to put that out, but I'd err away, this is my personal opinion, err away from using out and out pellets. I'd stick with a bit of ground bait just to create that bit of activity, so those fish that are swimming around, that are going to be inquisitive, hopefully will come across those particles that are up in the water column and then think, well, oh, there's a better bait down there, let's go and have a bit of a feed. And that's kind of it really. Go out, enjoy yourselves. It's going to be a glorious weekend. If you want to know what else, as usual, stick some comments in the bottom. I'm actually out fishing tomorrow. I'm actually taking somebody out fishing on an experience day, which I'm quite looking forward to actually. Yeah, have a great weekend. Catch you later. Cheers guys, bye bye.